All right, drivers, it is nearly 7 o'clock. Everyone, make your way to the off road track for a driver's meeting. This is mandatory. If you are a racer, make your way to the concrete wall by the off road track. Racing will start in about 3 minutes. It is 7:02. Racing will start at 7:05. That is 3 minutes. Race number 1 up in 3 minutes. Marshals are going to be from our race number 5. Yeah. Yeah, there was some blowouts. I saw it. race number 5. You are our marshals. That is going to be 13.5 late model. Artie, John, Keith, and Dan. You are the marshals. There are 4 cars in this race, so I'd like to have all 4 of my marshals for that, please. Oh, yeah, that's right. Damn, I always forget. It is not every week. All right, everybody remove your hats and stand up for the national anthem.
So proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming. Stars, stripes, and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare emblems bursting in air. Keep through the night that our flag is still there. Oh, sing us that star-spangled banner yet waving. The land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, let's get the cars rolling. Perfect. Watch turns 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Still there. All right, here in these next couple laps, we're going to get it going. Go ahead and get those cars spread out. All right, get the cars spread out. Get the cars spread out. This race will go live in less than 5. First one to cross will be TJ LaCroix. Next, Gatlin, Rodney, and Eric. First lap's going down. We're on our second lap. TJ still holding them off, running a 44.02. He's got about 0.3 of a second over our next fastest car. That's Gatlin Neal. And the number 3 spot is going to be Rodney Riley. Just ran a 5.6 that last time. He is your new leader. That's Rodney. Rodney's in the blue and black. He just made a mistake and at the line. That was your leader. Back down to the 2 spot. TJ out to reclaim the lead. So TJ and the blue and black chrome rims working the front stretch now, right in front of Eric on the track. In the number 2 spot, that is Rodney. He's in the blue and black Traxxas stock body. Hitting the line now, going down the backstretch right behind Gatlin. Gatlin in that number 3 spot. And Eric rounding out the 4. So your closest race on the track is going to be between Rodney and TJ. Rodney out front. TJ in that number 2 spot. So Rodney running a 44 flat and TJ 40 and a 4.02. That's about 1 second difference. So Rodney crossing the line, working the backstretch now, hitting 3 and 4. Coming up on TJ, he is the faster truck of the two. Just threw down a 5.5. TJ a 6.2. So Gatlin, these are your leaders coming up on you. Make sure to let them by. Thank you very much. Gatlin in that 3 spot. He's about 4 seconds behind TJ for that number 2 overall. So 2:15 down, 1:45 left to go. Your leader hitting turns 3 and 4. Crossing the line now, that is Rodney. Right behind him is TJ and Gatlin. Oh. Let's see some cleaner racing. You guys are about 4 seconds difference on the clock. TJ in that 2 spot. Gatlin in the 3. Eric, 30 seconds. Eric all the way back in that 4 spot. 1 minute left to go in race number 1. Rodney still out in the lead. He's got 10 seconds over the next car. That is TJ. Another 2 seconds back is going to be Gatlin in that 3 spot. Crossing the line there, that was Rodney, 41.4 flat. Running a faster time now. Behind him, TJ, 39.401, dropping off his older pace a little bit. Here comes the lap traffic. Gatlin, those are the leaders. Make sure to give them plenty of room. About 25 seconds left in this one. Rodney running nice, clean, consistent laps, spreading out his time. Dropping off his 41.4 flat, now to about a 41.402. So he lost about 1 second in those last couple laps. Not going to hurt him hardly at all. There's only 1 heat of stock slash. He is going to be round 1 TQ. I will call your name when you are done. TJ, you are done. Gatlin, you are done. Rodney, you are done. That is a race, guys. Rodney, TJ, and Gatlin, your top 3 going into the A main. All right, race number 2. Hold the cars for a moment. Hold the cars for a moment. If you were in that last race, make your way directly to the track for marshaling. So my racers in that last one, Eric, TJ, Gatlin, and Rodney. I see all 4 of you. Thank you for getting out here quick. I'll give you extra time. You're fine. All right, the track is open for laps. Track is open for laps. Race number 2. This is Sportsman, heat 1 of 1. Looking for Christian, Nick, Cameron, Jack, and Charlie. All right, racers. If you are not aware of how this race program is run, I know this is the sportsman class. In the next couple moments, I will start the clock. You all are going to run for 4 minutes. You all are running on time trial right now, not each other. You are racing the clock. Whoever puts down the fastest laps will be leading us off in the A race. So go ahead and get your cars rolling. Get them spread out so you don't run into each other. The track will go live in less than 5. Oh. I hear you. I hear you. We missing someone? Oh, all right. All right. They're built in now. Almost skipped him. We're going to give Christian some laps. So keep in mind, this is a time trial, so bumping into other cars will only harm yourself. Keep that in mind. Go ahead and get the cars rolling. The race will go live in less than 5. Cameron, Charlie, Nick, Jack, and here comes Christian. All 5 of my cars are now live on the track. About 10 seconds down. Christian leading off this pack of 5 cars down the front stretch. Oh, he's going to give it up. So your leader on the clock is going to be Jack. Nick in the 2 and Christian in that 3 spot. About 30 seconds into this one, 3:30 left to go. So our first 6 laps being thrown down. Jack is your leader, running a 40 and a 4 flat. Nick running a 37.401. That's about 4 seconds behind the leader. So our leader is Jack. He's in the red, blue, and black. Tracks his stock body, working the front stretch now. Dodging a crash car. Nice moves. In that number 2 spot is going to be Nick. He's in the red, or the blue and black. Tracks his stock body, working the front stretch now, crossing the line. That is your number 2 car. Moving up to the lead. Jack with a mistake. Going to move Nick to the point. About 1.2 seconds dividing these 2 racers. That's going to put Nick back to the point that last time by 1/10 of a second between those 2 cars. The blue and black out to the point. Christian in that 3 spot. Oh, Jack with a mistake. That's going to solidify Nick's position. So Christian in that 3 spot. Cameron in the 4 and Charlie working the 5. We're about 2 minutes into this 4-minute race. Oh, watch the backstretch. Watch the backstretch. I have 2 cars. So, oh, watch front. Watch the front at the line. Go wide at the line. It's clear. Good marshaling. So, Nick, your leader, has about 3 seconds over Jack now. Jack in that 2 spot. Christian in the 3. Cameron in the 4. And Charlie in that 5 spot. Your closest race on the track is going to be between your number 1 and 2. That is Nick and Jack. Oh, watch backstretch. Go inside down the back. Inside down the back. Close call. The separation between our 1 and 2 dropping a little bit. Nick is still out to the point. The gap now about 1 second. Jack with a quick little rollover. Does it twice now. 1 minute left on the clock. Christian, he's about 17 seconds back from Jack. He is in that 3rd spot. Every single one of our racers will be going straight to the A main. Oh, that's our leader stuck on turn 2. Stuck in turn 2. Here comes Jack, the final 30 or 40 seconds left in this race. These two cars separated by half a second. Nick in the blue and black. Jack in the red, blue, and black. Both of them Traxxas bodies. Oh, Nick gonna get caught on a lap car. Back to the 2 spot he goes. Jack up to the point now. So Jack in front of Nick. About 1.5 seconds dividing these two cars. They're racing it, duking it out. 10 seconds left. Jack's gonna roll it over. Nick back to the point. Gonna have a good gap now. Has about half a second. There is the bell. These guys are gonna get about one more lap. Jack, you are done. Cameron, you are done. Charlie, Christian, looking for Nick. He is finished. That is a race. Race is over. Nick gonna take the win in that one. Jack in the 2 spot and Christian working our top 3. All right, if you're in that last race, drop your car off and come back out to the track for marshaling. My marshals are going to be Christian, Nick, Cameron, Jack, and Charlie. Those are my marshals. I only need 4 of you to come out here. Sure thing. I always keep it pulled up right here on my phone. So let's see. That was race number 2. Cameron ran 32.402. That was your pace. Fast lap 6 flat. So Nick ran a 5.6. He was the leader, and Jack ran a 5.3. He was number 2. No. Yeah, you know you're good. All right. Track is open for practice laps. We're going to need one more marshal in turn 3. Hey, Christian. So the way this works, so you're going to stand in the corner, right? And you're going to flip the cars that are right near you. You're going to flip them if they crash. So get them back on their wheels, and that's it. At the end, we're going to ask you to blow to the next number. So there's a blower at your spot. You're going to take it from turn 3 and blow it to turn 4. That's it. All right, I have all 3 of my cars checked in. Go ahead and get them spread out. Get them spread out. The race will go live in less than 5. Dan, Sean, and Eric. So Dan leading off the pack of 3 cars. Oh, spins out. Gonna get put back to the line, or back in the line. Sean out front. Eric close behind in that 2 spot. Actually, I take that back. Eric Mason to the point. Had a slow lap that last time by. Gonna give it to Sean. So the first 30 seconds down. Sean Denny leading this one off. 1.2 seconds ahead of Eric. Just ran his fast lap of a 4.8. Dan Stewart, 4.7. He's in the 3 spot. Last time by, Sean, Eric, and Dan. About half a second between Eric and Dan for that number 2 spot. 1 minute into this one. We got 3 left to go. So, Sean, your leader. And the all-white number 10, pink letters. Crossing the line now. That is your leader. He's got 1.8 seconds to the good of Dan Stewart in that number 2 spot. Sliding out again. Blue and red, number 26. That is your number 2 car. He's about 2 seconds back from Sean. Eric, about half a second behind Dan. keeping his head in this one. This is really good out of him. Love to see close racing out of these guys. 130 down, 230 left to go. Sean, Dan, Eric, each separated by about 2 seconds evenly. Dan Stewart, fast lap on the track, ran a 4.7. He did that on his last lap. So Sean leading this pack of 3 cars. Dan Stewart dropping the time a little bit. So Eric, you are getting lapped on the track. Make sure to give him by. Thank you very much. So Sean and Dan, closest race on the track. The gap is 1.7 with about 150 left on the clock. So your leader working the backstretch now to the front, crossing the line. Your leader, Sean Denny, in the 2 spot, Dan Stewart. The difference between those 2 cars expanding. About 2.5 seconds now between those 2 cars. Sean and Dan was 1.6, now 2.2. 1:15 left on the clock. Dan dropping that time down a little bit. Was 2.2. Now it's 1.9. And Stewart ran a 4.7. That was his fast lap last time by. Sean Denny with a 4.9, dropping about a 10th off every single lap. He's got about 10 more laps to drop. Right on the rear bumper of Sean. These guys are racing on the clock and on the track. Eric, you are in between that battle. You're about 8 seconds back in the number 3 spot. So if it gets close, I need you to move out of the way, please. So 30 seconds left on the clock. Sean and Dan separated by 1.3 now. 20 seconds left on the clock. That's about 5 more laps. Oh, Dan riding the pipe, taking a super tight line. Looking for the inside on Sean. He's going to get it done. That's going to put Dan Stewart right to the point. But he's going to spin out and give it up. Now Sean back to the point. All Sean has to do is stay on Dan, and he will get the win. That is close. That's about 1 more lap they're going to get. 1 more lap. Sean Denny, Dan Stewart going to take the lead on that last lap. Race is over. Dan Stewart going to take the win. Sean in the 2 and Eric in that 3 spot. All right, give me another 30 seconds, guys, before you start taking the track. Give me about 30 seconds. Just keep the cars in the middle of the track. When you're breaking in the track, we're trying to lay down rubber and keep moisture in the dirt, so. All right, track is open. Track is open. Looking for one more marshal. I need 2 volunteers. I need 2 volunteers from that last one. All right, can we shut the track down, please? Shut the track down. This track is closed. Close the straightaways, please. All right, thank you. Let me get my last 2 marshals out there. Shut the track down, Alton. We need one more marshal. Just one more volunteer in this one. There were 3 racers in that last one. Need one more volunteer. Thank you. All right, you guys have the track.
Hey, all spread yourself out, okay? Try and stay away from them.
All right, race will go live in less than 5. Oh, watch the back stretch. Watch the back. Hey. I'm going to false start that one. All right, I'm going to restart it. Race going live in less than 5. Case and Jesse, Anthony, Alden, and Cole. All 5 of my cars have crossed and are checking. So Cole Denny, first one across the line. Running a 5.7. He is going to be in the back of the pack. Anthony Austin, fastest car on the track. Oh, he's going to get tangled up in another car. That's going to move him to the 2 spot. So Kaysen out front. Kaysen Riley to the point, running a 44.402. Fast lap 5.4. Does not have the fastest lap, but he does have the most consistent times. Just ran a 5.5 again. He's about 2 seconds or 2/10 of a second back to Anthony now. Anthony on that last lap taking the point. 44.401 out of him. He's gapping it out. Was 0.2 seconds. Now it's half a second. So Anthony, your new leader. Kaysen in the 2 spot. Jesse in the 3. Alden in the 4. And Cole working that 5 spot. 1:15 down, 2:45 left to go. Kaysen Riley, all white and black, number 46, crossing the line right now. That is your leader. In the number 2 spot, going to be Anthony, the all green and black, number 87, crossing the line now. That's your number 2 car. Alden working all the way up to the 3 spot. Cole Denny for Jesse in that 5 spot. So Cole and Jesse working the 4 and the 5. They're about half a second apart. Alden in that 3 spot. He's got 1 second of the good of Cole in that 4 spot. So your closest race on the track now. Gonna be between the 1 and the 2. That's Kaysen and Anthony. Oh, watch turn 2. Watch turn 2. Go wide. Go wide. Try to keep it clean, guys. Kaysen in the 1. Gonna get caught on a lap car. Big pile up down the backstretch. Kaysen in the 1, Anthony 2, and Cole in the 3. Looks like our leaders didn't get mixed up at all. They're clear. So Kaysen, white with black trim, number 46. Working the backstretch now. Right in front of him is going to be Jesse. That is your leader behind you, Jesse. Make sure to give him room when he comes up on you. In that 3 spot, Cole Denny. He's in the all-white black trim. That's the number 10 car hitting the line now. 1 minute left on the clock. Alden going to pull off in this one. That moves everyone up 1 spot. Oh, last time by, Anthony going to be taking the lead. Kaysen back to the 2 spot. So, Jesse, that is your leaders coming up on you. You have the number 1 car right behind you, Jesse. Whenever they come up on you, make sure to give them some room. Thank you very much. That's awesome. 30 seconds left in this one. Anthony and Kaysen separated by half a second. Anthony running about 1/10 faster every single lap. Just ran a 5.3. Kaysen with a 5.6. The gap's spreading out a little bit. Anthony going to get into the rear end of him. Kaysen going to fall back even more. Was 1 second. Now it's 2.9. So Anthony, with 10 seconds left on the clock, is going to be the leader. With no mistakes, he should be your TQ. All green with black trim. Crossing the line now. That is your leader. He's going to get 1 more lap. Kaysen, Jesse, you're done. And Anthony, you're done. Looking for Cole. That is a race. Race is over. So Anthony, Kaysen, Jesse, Cole, and Alton, that's your race. Hey, Eric, make sure to blow off the track, please. All right, let's keep the track quiet until I get my marshals back out there. We don't want these nice cars getting hit by boots. All right, so if you were racing in that last one, make sure you make your way back to the track for your marshaling duties. Hey, let's keep the track closed for just another minute. Let's get our marshals out here. I don't want you guys hitting someone's boot. If you were in that last race, make your way back out here. Do you need our marshals? Looking for one more. There were 5 of you in that last heat. Shouldn't be struggling for marshals. Looking for Cole or Alton. All right, that's all 4. Your track is open, guys. Track is open. Watch turn 2. Go to the inside. That's clear. It's very good. It's not the cleanest racing.
You look so weird with your glasses. Are you, they feeling okay?
Just my eyes are like really sensitive right now.
Well, that's because you.
I know. All right. Now is the time if you want to make changes. Any changes on your remote or to the suspension on your vehicle. Oh, watch the front stretch. Watch the front. Close the front. Hey, if it's just a wheel nut, I'll give you 30 seconds. Go ahead, you're good. It is a prep day, so the more laps you get, that's awesome. Just my professional opinion. If the wheel nut came off, I'd probably put a new one on. Don't you all like travel for this stuff? Crazy. All right. Go ahead and get them spread out. Get them spread out. Race will go live in less than 5. Keith, first one to cross. Artie, Dan, and John. All 4 of my cars have crossed. First couple laps popping off. John Collins, fast lap 4.4. Just ran that last time by. He is your leader, running a 55.402. In that 2 spot, Artie. In the 3 is Dan, and 4, Keith. So 30 seconds into this one. This is our fastest class of the night. Artie giving the wall a little kiss. He is in the 2 spot, about 1 second behind John. Dan in that 3 spot, about 1.5 behind Artie. And Keith, about 1 lap behind Dan. So 45 seconds down, 3:15 left to go. John Collins out front, running a 54.401, spreading his lead out. Artie with the mistake, a 5 something lap, 5.6. Lead's going to spread out to about 3.5 seconds. So that is the time Artie has to make up if he wants to go to the point. 3.5 seconds. Dan in that 3 spot, about 1 second behind Artie now. So the battle for the number 2 spot closing up. Artie and Dan separated by 3 seconds now. 1:30 down, 2:30 left to go. John Collins, new hot lap, 4.3. Artie in that 2 spot, still about 4 seconds flat behind him. That's roughly 1 lap. Dan Stewart in the 3, not quite catching up to Artie. Only car running clean, fast laps every single time is going to be John. 4.4 that time. Another 4.4 that time. 4.3 up in his new hot lap. 4.36 that last time by. So John just up in his fast lap every single time. Another heater out of him. Already in that 2 spot, about 7.5 seconds behind him. Averaging about a 4.7 to John Collins with a 4.4 is his average. Dan back in that 3 spot, and Keith in the 4. 2:45 down, 1:15 left to go. John, Artie, Dan. The difference between John and Artie, this is for the point, about 9 seconds. Dan in that 3 spot, 6 seconds back to Artie.
Did good.
1 minute left to go.
I'm thinking, let's see if I can dirt, crush up, and do the flip. That's all it is now. Yep. That spot that I fixed right there. See right there.
Mm-hmm. 35 seconds left in this one. John, your leader. Sprint has leaked out even more. A mistake out of Artie. 12 seconds now between our 1 and 2 car with 25 seconds left on the clock. So our closest race right now is going to be between Artie and Dan. 7 seconds apart. Looks like the podium is all closed up. John, Artie, and Dan. That should be your top 3. Final 5 seconds. That's about 2 more laps for these guys. John Collins looking to take home a Q1 top qualifier. Artie is done. John is done. Dan is done. And Keith is done. That is a race. So it is 7:42. There will be no practice. No practice. Yep. All right, it is 7:43. We will start back in about 18 minutes. No practice right now. Track will go live for racing at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, race number 1. Be back to the track. Hey, Alton. 1 second. It is 7:58, guys. Racing will start back in 1.5 minutes. 1 minute 30 seconds. Need my stock slash guys to be up here ready to race. All right, race number 1 to the track. Stock slash A main, Rodney, TJ Gatlin, and Eric. Those are my racers. Make your way to the track.
Just a little bit more right there. That's it. Just a little bit more, please.
Looking for my racers and my marshals. Need my marshals from race number 4, 13.5 late model. My marshals are John Collins, Artie, and Keith. I'm going to need one volunteer marshal. John, Artie, and Keith. All right, we have our marshals covered. We have all of our racers. Well, watch the backstretch. Ooh. All right, we're going to shut the straightaways down. We're going to shut the straightaways down. No more laps. No more laps. So Rodney out front. Going to be TJ in that number 2 spot. Gatlin in the 3 and Eric in that 4 spot. I like it. All right, Rodney, whenever you're ready, you are leading this one off. All 4 of these cars will be going full speed coming out of turn 4. And they're live. Rodney, TJ, Gatlin, and Eric, all of them have crossed. Eric making early money moves on Gatlin into that podium spot. Gonna get rear-ended. Gonna solidify his position. Our number 1 and 2 car are gonna walk away a little bit, building the gap. Eric up to that 3 spot, Gatlin down to the 4. Oh, Eric gonna spin out. That's gonna move Gatlin up to the 3. So Rodney, your leader, blue and black, tracks his body, working the backstretch now, coming up on Gatlin. Thank you for giving him some room. Oh man, that is your leader, Gatlin. Make sure to give him plenty of room. TJ in that number 2 spot, and Gatlin up to the 3. So TJ in that number 2 spot, running the blue and black, front stretch now. Oh, working for the lead that time by. So TJ out front, blue and black. And Rodney in that number 2 spot, blue and black, tracks his body. Both of them with chrome rims. Here comes Rodney, looking for any little mistakes. Gonna get into the backside of TJ. TJ getting real squirrely. Spinning out in the water. TJ, the 12-second lap, gonna be getting lapped. Gatlin in that 3 spot. Eric in the 4. Oh, 140 down, 220 left to go. Your leader, Rodney, coming up on Gatlin. This is for the 2nd lap. Rodney, blue and black. In the lead, TJ in that 2 spot, about a lap and a half behind him. Gatlin in that 3 spot, blue and white. These cars separated very evenly. Rodney and TJ separated by 7.9. TJ and Gatlin separated by 6 seconds.
I'd wait and hit it after.
Okay. Your leader working the back stretch now. That is Rodney running a 41.4 flat. That is faster than his qualifying time. Now up to a 42.405. Oh, he's going to get in the rear end of a wrecked car. Going to slow him down a little bit. Still has 9 seconds to the good of TJ. Gatlin about 10 seconds behind TJ. Rodney, TJ, and Gatlin all separated by about 10 seconds evenly. With 45 seconds left on the clock. Closest race on the track, Rodney and TJ. Rodney coming up on TJ for his 2nd lap on him. About 20 seconds left on the clock. That's about 4 more laps. About 4 more laps out of these cars. Oh, watch the backstretch. Quick Marshall from a spectator. Ronnie, still about 5 seconds to the good of TJ. That's 1 lap. Not enough time to get anything done. 1 more lap out of these cars. Gatlin, you are done. Ronnie and TJ, that is a race. Race is over. Rodney going to take the win in that one. TJ and Gatlin. All right, race number 2, Sportsman A main. Nick, Jack, Christian, Cameron, and Charlie. If you were in that last race, make your way back out to the track. All right, we have all 4 of our marshals. Oh, no. That sounds like a stripped out spur gear. Hey, if you can hustle and get it changed out real quick. All right. Still looking for one more racer. Hey, Sean, can you help Charlie? He stripped out his spur gear. Can you help him get it back out there? Appreciate you, man. All right, we could shut the track down. Shut the track down. We have a racer using a driver's minute. Hopefully he gets back out here in the next minute or two. We'll give him some time. We're in no rush. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time. Yeah, I'll give him the time. I mean, hell. Someone want to give him a loaner? I don't think that car's making it back out tonight. Is that what? Someone want to give him a loaner and just swap the battery? All right. Thank you to my guys in the pits for trying to get him back out there. We appreciate you guys. So, we're going to get these cars lined up. Nick, you are going to be on point at the line. Jack in the 2, Christian in the 3, and Cameron in the 4. So if you don't know how this works, you are all lined up NASCAR style, and you all are going to follow behind your leader. You're going to make one lap around, and when you reach turn 4, you all are going full speed. Do not pass the car in front of you until you hear the tone. Oh, wait, he's making it. Woo! Yeah, he's going to get, I'm going to give him like 3 laps. Oh, no steering. He's ready. He's checked in. All right. Whenever you're ready, Nick, get these cars rolling. So just follow behind the car that's in front of you until you hear the tone. Going live now. Oh, Jack, first one to tap out. Going from the 2 spot all the way back to the 5. Going to try to reclaim a little bit. Going to move back up into that 4 spot. First lap's going down. Nick going to be on point. Cameron in the 2 and Christian in that 3 spot. So, your leader, Nick, blue and black, tracks his stock body. Working the front stretch, or the back stretch now, through turns 3 and 4, down the front, crossing the line. That is your leader. In the 2 spot, going to be Jack. Running the red and black, tracks his body. Crossing the line now. Looks like they got their cars hooked up. Christian working the 3 now. Down the backstretch he goes. Working the front now. Oh, caution on the back. Caution on the back. So right now, as it's rolling, Nick, Jack, Christian, and Cameron, your top 4. 1:30 down, 2:30 left to go. Oh, your leader rolling it over. Here comes Jack. Watch the front stretch. Watch the front stretch. It's clear. Nick and Jack separated by 1.3 seconds. So Nick, the blue and black, followed by Jack and the red and black. Oh, watch the front. Looks like the body popped up a little bit. Oh, that was your number 2 car. Give him some room. Give him some room. Your leader down the front stretch. And the number 2 car right behind him. This is our close race. Jumping to the front now. Giving it up. Looks like Nick with the faster or the slower car. Gonna try to hold him off. Jack getting his car pitched in there and shooting on the exit. Looks really hard to drive, but super fast. 220 out, or 220 in, 140 left to go. Your leader working the front stretch, crossing the line. Right behind him is Jack. About 9 seconds behind Jack is going to be your number 3 car. That is Cameron. And Christian back to the 4. Our closest race so far. Nick and Jack separated by about 2/10 of a second. Getting by some lap traffic. Real nice racing out of these guys. Oh no. Jack's going to catch a pipe and roll over. Push it a little too hard. 1 minute left to go. Oh, watch the backstretch. Watch the backstretch. Nice job, guys. Oh, I didn't see it. Looks like Nick caught the pipe and rolled it. He's back to the 2 spot. Jack up to the point. Jack's going to roll it over. They're swapping back and forth. 9 or 1 of them won it. 45 seconds left in this one. Spreading back out to where they started. Nick in the lead. Jack in that 2 spot. Dumping the inside. That was Jack. Nick back to the 2 spot. 30 seconds left in this one. That's about 6 more laps. 6 more laps out of these guys. 2 seconds separating them. The faster of the two is out front. Fast lap 5.3 to Nick's 5.6. Looks like Jack's going to catch a lap car. Going to go wide, dumping the two. Here comes Nick. Going to get the lead. Crossing the line now. That's your new leader. All blue and black. Traxxas body. Nick to the point. 4 seconds behind him is going to be Jack. To the line they go. Jack's going to settle for the 2 spot. Nick with the 1. Cameron in the 3. And Christian 4. Charlie 5. That is a race. Race is over. Nick, Jack, and Cameron, your top 3. We're just happy to see you back in here. All right, let's get our marshals from that last race back out here. If you are racing in this one, keep the cars quiet for a minute so I can get my marshals back out there without fear of a marshaling incident. If you are in that last one, make your way back out to the track quickly. These guys want to get their race started. Looking for my marshals, Nick, Jack, Christian, and Cameron. All right, one more marshal. Looking for Christian. Christian or a volunteer. Well, looks like we got all 4 of our marshals. We're good. So, race number 3, 2-wheel drive buggy street stock. The track is yours. All right, now is the time to make your changes if you want them. Any changes on your controller or changes to your suspension on your car, now is the time. If not, I'm going to give you guys about 3 more laps. 3 more laps if you want it. All right, shut the stretches down. Shut the stretches down. Dan Stewart going to be leading us off. You are going to be on pole. Sean Denny in that 2 spot. And Eric in the back working that 3 spot. So, Dan, you all have done this once or twice. Going live out of turn 4 whenever you're ready. 1 clean lap behind each other. And they're going to go live now. Crossing the line, Dan Stewart. Oh, we're going to get a restart. Restart. Get about 1 car length between each other. All the racing does need to happen in the first 10 seconds. Spread them out about 2 feet between them. No need to be on top of them. That's a good start right there. So Dan Stewart, lead him off. Was the TQ of qualifying. Here comes Sean in that 2 spot. Had a really quick entry on that one. Tried to sweep on the exit, didn't quite get it. Pushed out to the wall. Dan Stewart going to lead this one out. Starting to stretch his gap. Was about half a second. Now it's up to 1 second. Eric in that 3 spot, about 2 seconds behind Sean. So these cars evenly separated on the track. Oh, Dan going to catch the pipe. Here comes Sean. Was 2 seconds, now 1 second flat. 45 seconds into this one, 3:15 left to go. So Dan Stewart in the blue, red, and black working the backstretch right now. The number 26 is the leader. In the 2 spot, gonna be Sean Denny, the all white with some pink trim, the number 10 car. Oh, Dan gonna spin out. Here comes Sean. Here comes Eric. Eric is in that number 3 spot though. He is lapped. So Sean up to the point. Dan back to the 2. One little mistake out of Dan, and his 2-second lead is gone. Now he's about 0.2 of a second behind Sean. Looks like, oh, he's going to find the inside. Going to get a better run down the straight, too. Going to push a little wide, though. Had a good entrance. Went wide on the exit. Here comes Sean. About 2:30 left in this one. Dan's going to try to get his gap going again, try to run his lines. He's going to try to get away from Sean enough so that he can start running his race lines. So Sean, last time by, ran a 4.9. Dan with a 4.8. 5.1 out of Sean. So falling off that pace a little bit. Was half a second. Now it's up to about 1.2. Catching himself. Dan with a 5 flat. Sean with a 4.8. Dan dropping it to a 4.65. Fastest lap of the race for him. 1:35 left on the clock. They're separated by about 1 straightaway or half the track. Dan's going to get another spin out. Sean right back up to his bumper. All you have to do is keep it stable, Dan. You will have the win. Sean right up behind him. Has every opportunity to take this pass. Was on top of him. About 0.2 of a second. Now spread back out to about 0.5. Here comes Eric. Mixed it up just a little bit. Dan Stewart and Sean. 1 and 2. 1 minute remaining on the clock. Looks like Sean struggling for a little bit of consistent rotation out of his car. Dan on a Sunday drive. Just trying to keep that car planted on all 4 wheels. Trying to keep it from spinning out. That is the hard part on a track that's still on a green groove. 30 seconds left in this one. So Dan Stewart, all blue, red, and black, number 26, working the front stretch right now. Right in front of him is going to be Eric. He's in that 3 spot. Behind him is going to be Sean in the 2 spot. So Dan Stewart running a 49.401. That is faster than his qualifying time by about 5 seconds. 5 more seconds left on the clock, speaking of. That's about 1 more lap for these drivers. When Dan crosses, he will be done. Eric and Sean, all 3 of them have finished. Good race out of these guys. Dan and Sean, 1 and 2. Eric in that 3 spot. That is your podium. Let me see my marshals from that last one. Our track is live. There are 5 cars on the track, so I expect to see all of my marshals back out here. We need 2 volunteers. Thank you, TJ. 1 more volunteer. Looking for 1 more volunteer marshal. 1 more volunteer. Thank you, Gowan. Appreciate it. If you all want to make any changes, real quick changes to your car or controller, I'm going to give you all about 15 seconds if you want to make them. If not, I think we're going to get the cars lined up. Perfect. I knew someone had to. All right, let's get the cars lined up. Anthony, Kaysen, Jesse, Cole, and Alton, you're in the back. Hey, Alton, move your car to the back, buddy. All right, whenever you guys are ready, go ahead and get the cars rolled off. Anthony, Kaysen, Jesse, Cole, and Alton, stay behind the car that's in front of you until you get out of turn 4. We'll go live. Oh, my. So first lap's going in. Anthony, your leader. Jesse in the 2, Kaysen 3, Cole 4, and Alton in that 5 spot. Oh, Anthony absolutely walking away with it right now. First 30 seconds, and he's already working a 2-second gap. So Jesse in that 2 spot. Kaysen right behind him. That's our closest race on the track. Kaysen to the inside. Got bump wheels with him. That was clean. Love to see that. So Kaysen up to the 2 spot. Jesse in that 3. Cole back 4. And Alton in that 5 spot. Alton going to be taking the 4 spot last time by. So Alton, that is the leader behind you. Make sure to give him plenty of room. Oh, well. 1 minute in. 3 left to go. Anthony, Kaysen, and Jesse. Our closest race so far between Kaysen and Jesse, 2 and 3. This is for position on the podium. So Kaysen, he's in the white and black, number 46. Right behind him, blue and orange, number 88 or 98. That is Jesse. These cars separated by about 1/10 of a second. Going head to head. Kaysen getting a good run down the straight. Oh, there goes Jesse. Gonna get into him. Watch the infield. Watch the infield. That was your number 2 car. That's gonna put him all the way back to the 5 spot. Kaysen all the way back. Alton up to that podium position. The race for the 2 spot right in front of him. So Alton up to the 3. Jesse in the 2. Anthony still out front. So Anthony, your leader, all green with black trim, number 87. That is your leader. And Jesse with the all orange and blue. He's in that number 2 spot. Alton ripping the stars and stripes, number 14. Working the front stretch and crossing the line now. That is your final podium position. 1:30 left on the clock. Closest race on the track is going to be between Alton and Jesse. That is for the 2 spot overall. So Jesse, orange and blue. Alton, stars and stripes. Chrome wheels versus gray wheels. Seeing what these cars doing. Oh, technical issue out of Cole Denny's car. Tough luck for him. So Anthony working about a 7-second lead over the number 2 car. That is Jesse. About a lap and a quarter over him. Looks like Alton had a slow lap of 6.6. Didn't see what happened. Now he's not going to be quite on top of Jesse like he was. Here comes Kaysen coming back for that podium position. Kayson's going to get into him. Oh, man. Kayson back to the, or Kayson up to the 3. Alden back to the 4. "15 seconds left on the clock. Everyone is separated pretty good. 5 seconds left on the clock. About 8-second lead for Anthony. Another 4 seconds back is Kayson. There's the bell. Everyone is now done. That is a race. Anthony, Jesse, Kayson, and Alton. Huh? I know it. All right, if you were racing in that last one, drop your car off and make your way immediately back to the track for your marshaling duties. Hi, Anthony. How are you? Good racing out there, man. TQ, lead the whole race in walking. About 8 seconds. I don't know what Sinex does those cars, but they like put corners perfect. He first got that light on. That one right there that you're using? Really? Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was flipping over and sliding other spots. Just consistently rotating. All right, still looking for one more marshal. There's Cole. Thank you, guys. Have all of my marshals out here. Track is open for all of you. I've always liked Jason. Jason's always been really cool to me. Yeah. If you all want to make your changes, now is the time. You all know how this runs. Clean up my pit area. Let me clean up my pit area. All right, straightaways are closed. Straightaways are closed. We're going to go ahead and get the cars lined up. John Collins on the point. Artie in the 2. Dan 3. Keith 4.
This guy right here decided he's going to make changes to the track.
All right. Whenever.
First time around, out of turn 4.
Out of turn 4, you guys will be full speed. Whenever you're ready, John, roll them off. So build up a little bit of a gap. That's perfect right there. Going live out of turn 4. Perfect start out of these guys. All 4 of them have checked and crossed. John Collins, first one to cross. He is the top qualifier. Right now on a pace of a 52.402. Good laps out of him. Oh, Dan going to roll it over. He was in the 3 spot, still going to hold it down. Keith not quite there to be able to capitalize. So John already looking up for the lap on Keith. Going to get it done. John and Artie, that's your closest race on the track so far. They're separated by about a second and a half. 1.5 seconds between our 2 drivers, 1 and 2. So John, your leader. Artie in the 2, Dan Stewart in the 3, and Keith in the 4.
He's coming around pretty good.
1 minute into this one, 3 left to go. John Collins still out front. Oh, yeah, really good. Already in that 2 spot. So, John, all black, number 59. Already the all black and blue, number 4. And Dan Stewart, blue and red with white trim, number 26. Working the front stretch now, crossing the line. That is your top 3. 130 down, 230 left to go. John Collins, your leader, working the front stretch now, crossing the line. Coming up for the lap on Dan Stewart. This is going to be his second lap on Dan. So already in that 2 spot. He's about 2.5 seconds back from John. John absolutely dominating on the track right now. Consistently running 4.3s. That's about 1/10 faster than Artie's lap every single time. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go in this one. We are halfway through our final race of the night. John Collins gonna walk the race tone to tone. Started off as TQ. He's gonna end off as the winner. All he has to do is keep it on the wheels and in the line. Oh, Dan gonna spin out. Artie gonna catch him a little bit. Not gonna hurt him hardly at all. He is still solidified in that number 2 position. Now these guys get to really race. This was for the lap. Artie in the 2 spot. 1 lap back to John. 130 left in this one. Our closest race on the track is still going to be between our 1 and 2 car. About 5 seconds apart. That's a lap and a quarter right now. Thank you, Keith, for letting our leaders by. You got another one coming up on you in the next couple laps. 1 minute left to go. John Collins, all black, number 59, working the front stretch now. Through turns 1 and 2 down the back. That was a lap with our leader, John Collins, 55.401. That is his pace. Dropping that fast lap down to a 4.2. Oh, he caught a lap car. Not going to slow him down, maybe about half a second. Ran a 5.1. He did drop that fast lap, though, to a 4.28. That is 1/10 faster than Artie's fast lap. With about 25 seconds left on the clock, these guys are solidified in their positions. John, Artie, and Keith. That is going to be your top 3 for the night. John and Artie separated by about almost 8 seconds now. Artie and Keith separated by about 35. 5 more seconds left on the clock. Not enough time for any moves to be made. The race will be done at the end of this lap. Keith, Artie, and John. There's Dan. All 4 of my cars have finished. John, Artie, Keith. That is your top 3. Good night of racing, guys. If you were able to make a podium or a TQ, make your way up front for a podium picture.